We all make mistakes, right? But sadly, some of these cost serious money. So let's talk about the most common mistakes people make when pricing their digital products. Hey, I'm Sandra and I help online business owners make more money through really good service design, selling digital products, and selling self-study courses and group programs. Now, by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what pricing pitfalls to avoid in the future when pricing your digital products. Make sure that you stick around to the very end to understand exactly which 3 different prices I keep in mind when I'm pricing my own products. Look, I'm just gonna come out right now and say it, and that is that the most common mistake I see people make again and again is undercharging for their digital products. And I see this for service providers too, let's keep it real, but undercharging is the biggest mistake. It very often starts when they are undercharging for their one-on-one service or they're undervaluing their time, and that kind of extrapolates to when they start to charge or when they try and price their digital products. Because the problem is this, right? If you have a done for you version and you don't really value the time that you put into that, so you charge not enough money, then the digital product will be like, well, everyone can buy it. It doesn't really take me any more time now that I've created it, so it shouldn't be super expensive. And you get in this really awkward position. If the done for you version costs $100, that makes it pretty much impossible for the do-it-yourself digital product version to cost $75, right? That just doesn't make any sense for the buyer. So what happens here is that you charge in relation to your one-on-one price. So if that one is too low because you undervalue or you undercharge, then your digital product is also going to be too low. And the funny thing is, I see this happen all the time for students in my self-study course Sold Out. They come in, they ask about pricing, or they're like, oh, actually, if I charge this for one-on-one, the do-it-yourself version needs to be so much cheaper, but the value is so high. Like, you're just digging a hole, right? By undercharging, you're digging a hole and you're not going to be able to get out until you charge enough. Now, the second thing that happens is that often when we create something, we come up with a couple different price points and we play around, and then we pick one that we feel the most comfortable with. The problem with this is, for most people, this is often the lowest price, right? So this again means that we're going for less than we should be charging for it. Now, this leads to a problem because of a couple of things, right? When you have a digital product, you might want to run sales occasionally, right? Whether it's for Black Friday, you want to do like a big splash for the Black Friday weekend or Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever, right? You need to do a big discount then. What if it's your birthday and it would be really fun? Like, I'm turning 31 at some point. I want to do 31% off of everything. But if I'm charging the least amount of money I could expect to make from this product for it already, then that means I can't discount from there, right? And a secondary thing with this is if you create a digital product and it's great and people love it, they're going to want to promote it, right? And they're going to ask you for an affiliate link or a referral program, which means that if they promote your work and people buy it through their link, they make a commission. And very often this is a percentage, right? The problem with this becomes that if you charge $7 or $17 for something, and you take off the Black Friday sale, or you take off the commission and you take off the PayPal and the Stripe fees, you're like, oh, didn't actually make any money on this now, did I? And then finally, like, a really cool thing to do once you have multiple digital products, and especially if they're kind of interrelated to each other, you might want to bundle them up and sell them at a discount. The problem with this though is that if you do that and you already charge as little as you think you can get away with, and then you take 5 of them and you want to discount that, again, the price is going to be so low, it's not going to be worth it for you. And this is what I see happen, especially when people are charging like $7, $17, and they add it all up and they're like, oh, packaged together, this is amazing. But if I now discount on what it costs separately, I'm almost giving it away for free, right? And we don't want to do that. So are there 3 or 4 different prices I always keep in mind? That is the lowest price I wanted to have, which means that it's after the discount, the regular price I want to charge for it, where if someone buys it at that price, that's amazing for me. And then both of these prices minus the affiliate commission, right? So there's kind of a range almost from the full price where I make all the money to the discounted price minus affiliate commission where I make way less money on the product. And I want all of these to feel good to me and feel as a good deal for both the customer and for me. So those are the 3 different sort of prices or kind of price ideas that I keep in mind when I put a price on a digital product. Now, I go into pricing and how to make sure that you price things right in relation to your other offers to not cannibalize your offers inside Sold Out, which is my self-study program all about this. You can grab a free lesson on more about how this fits into your business model. You can grab that free lesson from the description box below. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment or a like, and I will see you in the next one.